I think you're right there. I would not limit our employment demands to Negroes. I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. Yeah, this is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, yes, sir, this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture.
Well, they do fit into it.
No,
they do fit into it.
The problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's the Negro here, and as long as he can speak Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your home that he desires.
You're not aware of the fact, are you, that African students have been arrested in our demonstrations in the South?
When they
speak French.
When they have been mistaken for the so-called Negro in America, they've been arrested.
What I'm saying is
you're tired of being censored on social media, join 60s.net. It's black owned, black operated, and black moderated, and we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 60s.net. Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 60s.net. Ah.
Tick faster, that'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix faster. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. All right, we do got that going. So, as y'all can see, we are back on StreamYard. You know, we had to make the change to go back, and so far so good. Going back to the regular, no connection issues, but hopefully StreamYard has got this issue fixed with my mic. So we'll see. One can hope. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, please hit that like button, hit that share button, share it to your social media, and also subscribe if you have not already subscribed to this channel. As you know, the algorithms don't like giving black channels, especially pro-black channels, a lot of love. So if you guys could help, that's how we get this word out. And we are almost at 1,000 subscribers here. So if we could get over the hump, that would be great. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that word spread. And shout out to everybody who attended our space this week. That's me and my brother Black Alpha Network. And we held two spaces, actually. We held one Tuesday, and then we also held one Wednesday. We had the FBA United on Wednesday, which was, that obviously was big. We were looking at, I guess it was over 4,000 replays at this point. And then, of course, Tuesday we had a space that everybody got a chance to speak on, I guess, that was on stage. And we also had it was about the white woman minority status situation and conversation, which a lot of people haven't looked at. And just understanding how minority statuses and wordplay is mattering. And it's even coming down to the reparations conversation. So it's something to pay attention to. With that being said, you said powerful, both Twitter spaces. Thank you so much, Simply Sandra. So let me see who I have in the chat thus far. Let me see, get this here. Where's my cursor doing that? All right. Do this. Okay, let me see what I got in here. Capricornus, Judah Queen, Ange, Thomas Jalek, Kathy B. Greetings. Of course, Simply Sandra, Shawana S. Welcome. RG Titan 901. Robin Cooper, welcome. Good evening. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Phantom Beat, what's going on? One Who Cares, welcome. So yes, indeed, as y'all are coming on in, all right. And if y'all could hit that like button, it looks like we are. Yeah, it looks like we're pretty good with the like button. So thank you, everybody who's coming in. And as y'all see, pinned to the top of the chat is the GoFundMe, which is actually over the desired amount. Shout out to the Foundational Black American Family and the B1 family, because I'm sure it wasn't just all Foundational Black Americans who contributed. So shout out to everybody that supported that family. Kid Gravity Beyond, what's going on, my brother? So yeah, it's always good to see when Foundational Black Americans step in the gap, or when the B1 abroad steps in the gap, which of course is always going to be led right here with this energy. Like even with the Jackson, Mississippi water crisis, which of course, the president has elected not to do anything about. And now, of course, with the passing of Elizabeth, they will be able to go ahead and just sidestep that conversation altogether and take himself out to the UK and ignore black folks all day long, like they've been doing. Of course, we are aware also Sheila Jackson Lee went over to Pakistan and gave them some more bread, talking about their water crisis nonetheless. So, yeah, that happened. And also something that might not have been as widely known, Manchin went over to Ukraine and gave them about $8 more billion. And Jackson, Mississippi has been absolutely ignored by all of the Democrats, whether it be white or black. Just completely ignored. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, when we talk about we not trying to worry about voting, I think it should be clear on why. And I want to get into something because my last few broadcasts, we had to address the moment because we had, of course, FBA United. So I didn't get a chance to kind of hit on some topics that I've been sitting on. And one, Black Cherokee FBI, benign political, absolutely. Nikki the God, yes indeed, peace, chief moderator in the house. Let's see, black people need to ignore them when it's time to vote. Simply Sandra. Absolutely. November is going to be fun. Kid Gravity Beyond. Absolutely, brother. So let me see where I want to go here. Because, of course, y'all know that, well, I guess we'll just start with the main topic at hand. Start with the news of the passing of Queen Elizabeth and the beginning reign of King Charles III. So with that being said, here's the first little tasty tidbit. And this doesn't even have any sound. The longest reign. See, if y'all were in the space earlier today with our good brother, Dr. Short, which was great. Shout out to Dwan B, because that was a very pertinent space. Oh, Yellow Cat. Greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome. Dita Ellisor. Welcome, welcome. And so, this the space where Dr. Short was talking, he was making a reference to them being basically a fake monarchy. And for I don't know how long some of y'all been following me, but some some of y'all might know that I've been saying that for a while. There's some of us out here who absolutely look at these people as phony monarchy because we're well aware of who the real monarchy is. And it ain't these people. But it is an opportunity to, I guess, celebrate supremacy in so many ways because they all right. Well, now my face is froze. This is odd. All right. Can you hear me now? Hopefully we are back. Hopefully you can hear me now. Check, check, check. All right. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Good, good. Tia to you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. That was interesting. One of the reasons why I left StreamYard to begin with is because I wasn't able to use my mic. So here we go again. And this is part of the problem of why I left. I guess there needs to be a third streaming platform to come in here and give these people some competition. So Black content creators who pay for platform usage do not have to go through all of these different types of hassles. It's funny, too, because you see all these other people who use StreamYard, boy, they clear, and it's like, okay. But, let's see how this works for now. Let's see. I don't think I need that. A suggestion. Okay. I'm up here looking at this YouTube studio. Because now I will say, so far so good. So let's roll. But this microphone business, come on now. Maxwell Jenkins. Shout out. Maxwell Jenkins. That's a cold name, brother. I know that must have been a chosen handle. Maxwell Jenkins. Let's see here. So let me get to one of the other videos I was about to play. I found a picture too of Queen Elizabeth throwing up a white power hand sign. That also happened. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. Not that we didn't really know what these people are about. And as this story broke, as she was, announced to be sick in the first place, they were saying how Meghan Markle wasn't going to be by the bedside. Now, who was shocked? Was anybody in this chat shocked that Meghan Markle wasn't planning to attend? It's like, I don't think you would have been welcome to begin with. But, it sounds good. Let me see. I mean, like, really? They would have ran that woman off. Man, yeah, they would have ran that woman straight on off. But there's another video, because I don't know who did the digging. Like, what, they must have been in the basement of the BBC or something, because there's some video surfacing of this queen. This is reportedly the queen, former queen, I guess now deceased queen of England, doing the feed the children in Africa, so to speak. I mean, this is crazy. Turn that music off. Now, I don't know how real this is, but I do not know how real it is not. Just considering how you have seen actions by these individuals, would this be far-fetched? I'm just saying. Dark skinned brother, what's going on? SMCM Queen Meadow Nuape, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. What am I hearing? All right. Let me see. So let me see where something else that I came across that I wanted to discuss this week. Again, are the week's events. Meghan Markle, of course, being part, but it really wasn't about this. Also, I did some investigating on some of these Caribbean caucus members. And just, I would like to let you hear kind of their vibe and their get down. Matter of fact, let me play something for you real quick. Because one of their kind of background supporters is Ayanna what's the bald head? Ayanna Pressley? Yeah. Well, check this out. Now, you would listen to this and think that she might be referring to Jackson, Mississippi. Maybe.
Are without power or clean water. This is abhorrent. We can and we must do better. The Biden administration must halt these deportation flights and allow folks to make a legal asylum claim.
Now, just listen to the steam and the smoke and the energy for a whole nother group. But what about the American citizens in Jackson?
Where large swaths of the country are without power or clean water. This is abhorrent. We can and we must do better. The Biden administration must halt these deportation flights and allow folks to make a legal asylum claim.
Well, that says, we ain't worried about the citizens, but we got to worry about everybody else. Now, they done went over to Pakistan, gave them some money, and like I said, gave Ukraine a few more billion. Now, these people are over here trying to give money to the Caribbean, while there's still unclean water in Flint and in Jackson, Mississippi. Desmond Works, what's going on, brother? Yes, indeed. So, Lord, just to let you know how these people's get down is, man. Let's see, let me get this joint in here. Because these folks ain't cool at all. Yeah. Now, here's something else that always catches my eye when people do the ADOS name drop. Now, because every time they do that, they're not talking about ADOS, the lineage. They're literally talking about Yvette and Tone. And truth be told, no one is really listening to them on no main scale other than the people who mention their name and avoid mentioning everybody else that's really who they're talking about the grassroots, because it ain't them. That part we can keep it real. You know, these aren't stolen talking points because we're all the same age, so nobody could really be anybody's mama. That doesn't really make any sense. But nonetheless, one thing that went under the radar is this woman here, who is also the chair of the Caribbean Caucus.
Or allow ourselves to be marginalized or fractured, like groups such as ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, which would have us believe that we are isolated in our history, our struggle, or in our collective power. Since its establishment in 1971, the Congressional Black Caucus has committed to using the full constitutional power, statutory authority, and financial resources of the federal government to address inequities in African American communities and other marginalized communities in the United States and globally.
Whoa. Wow. See, everybody else's caucus focuses on them. Here's the thing that we're coming to well, it's been a clear reality for us, but it's the unavoidable truth for the rest of the world. And shout out B-Mick, I see in the chat. One of the things that they can no longer avoid is the simple truth that these people are do-nothings for Black America, foundational Black Americans, freedmen. They are the absolute do-nothings. But they can easily go talk money, go give money, go provide protection, crew, royalty, FBA, I see in the house. Yeah, why the other groups? Good question. You know, they don't have nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with us whatsoever. But yet and still, when we're supposed to be getting somebody advocating for us, like right now in Jackson, Mississippi, this brother that just got executed in his bed, Jalen Walker, all of these other people who have still yet to see justice. Yeah, let's just forget about that and let's worry about other things, because we just can't focus on one group. Only when it comes to us, this big blanket discussion, and that's by design. One thing that they always say to us is we need to get our candidate, a candidate that represents you, a candidate that is voted in to be a member of the Congressional Black Caucus is there because they are supposed to represent the interests of Black people. So when they get there and no one is holding them to a standard of commitment of delivering something to their community, we have all of these people running interference for individuals like this. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to definitely do more about the prevention of that. And it starts by identifying these type of individuals. Because remember when I told you about California and how they had a whole task force behind the task force trying to make sure that they could shoehorn other groups in on the reparations conversation. I'm sure y'all seen that ad. I just saw Tariq he played it as well. If y'all saw that ad on Twitter with the white folks in the cotton fields, I keep telling y'all, it's like not just me, other people have said it. There is no limit. There is no limit to the depths that people will go to be like, no, that's part of us, man. We here, man. It's us too. You guys are being selfish. Stop. Stop it. Kid Gravity said, Zilla, you heard the UN is killing into. Oh, really? Are they looking into that? Oh boy. Said okay. So essentially, the U.S. is going to be investigated by the Tay Fund. Oh man, that's the good old hustle. International good cop, bad cop. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, ain't that something? Not surprising though. Let me see. Where's this? Let me go here. It's not let me add it from there. Let's see. Bear with me 1 second. And you know something else with the video I played at the very beginning, how they always like to talk about that Pan-African title has been thrown out so loosely, by the way. You know, man, this person's a Pan-Africanist. This person's a Pan-Africanist. That word is like used like when you hear people overusing that, it's like the shame tactic when people say, "Oh, you're homophobic or you're transphobic," or it's exactly like, "Oh man, you're a Pan-Africanist." Oh man, trust me, that is all that is. It's like, damn, just a new something, and a very old shaming tactic. You know, and most people who actually usually say that don't even have the true gist of what Pan-Africanism is anyway. So it's like to engage in a conversation like that is like, almost like talking astrophysics to a wino. Black Alpha Network, what's going on, my brother? Salute. Said it's like talking astro. Some people will come to us and say, well, hey, Malcolm X was about Pan-Africanism and all of this. What you heard Malcolm X say at the very beginning is there's only one group that has went through this situation. So that claim is exclusive to this group. Guess what that doesn't mean? That doesn't mean that we are hating another group or taking a violent position towards any other group. What we are only saying is stop freeloading off of our back. Because that's what that is. And that's grimy. And it's not commendable or respectable. And so when you come from an environment that says that type of thing is cool or okay, well, hey, we have to start looking like, I don't think we really want to rock with y'all so tough. Every time I look around, I have to worry about if you have your hand in my pocket, how you trying to scheme on trying to get in. I mean, literally, family, we have made it popular to be a descendant of a slave. 30 years ago, people were trying to be everything but this. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, I'm Indian. I mean, it's like, okay. Clearly you can see, like, I'm one of them Creole Indians. We still black. I mean, all of this old fancy mess, trying to be exotic. Now all of a sudden, oh no, hey, I am FBA. Hey, brother, I am FBA. Now at the same time though, Silver Tulip, welcome. We have people like this lady that I just showed you, and I'm finna play you another thing. So she's throwing ADOS out there. When you hear people do that, ADOS means reparations. So when you're hearing them, ADOS is a proxy for the reparations movement. So it's not that they're necessarily looking at that particular group as the threat. It's the reparations, now we ain't budging part. And that ain't pushed by Tony the Vet. No shade. But let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I wanted to show you again some of these familiar faces that y'all need to get used to that ain't cool. And we really need to get up out of here. So some of these people might be attached to your region. Get them up out the paint, family.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Yvette Clark of the 9th Congressional District of New York.
And I'm Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Co-chairs of the Caribbean Caucus on Capitol Hill, and I have to express my outrage. We are outraged with the Trump administration's denial of individuals who have been harmed by the tragic circumstances in the Bahamas. We want to see every single individual who reach our shores receive temporary protected status.
We've sponsored legislation along with other members of Congress to ensure that those individuals who want to continue to be employed, want to bring the economic growth of their country, but of course, due to the devastation of the Bahamas, they're unable to do so, to come to the United States on a temporary basis to assist in the rebuilding of the Bahamas during its time.
It will be their remittances, if given a work permit, that will help to really help that nation rebound. It's devastating what's taking place on the island right now, and we need to stand up and do our part here in the United States of America.
Right, Capricorn. Sounds like a bunch of bull. Film, animation, art. Silver Tulip, I see you. Simply Sandra said, good grief. For real. For real. It's okay. The video I just played where she's talking about the water and they don't have clean water and they need to seek asylum, that's what they're talking about. They are literally advocating for it. That's why I showed you the Ayanna Presley. She's down with them. So all of this, the squad and all of this, man, the squad is full of a bunch of treasonous folk. Well, not really treasonous because they're not, I don't think, none of them are FBA. I think the only one who was actually FBA was Nina Turner, and she just got voted out, didn't she? I think she is it. I don't think they have all the rest of them. Is there an FBA among the squad? I think they have, with Nina Turner, I think that's it. I think, yeah. See how they clean house? They got her, they had her there for a figurehead. See, we over here, we intermingling and being fair. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah. In the meantime, this is what you get as a representation of black women here in America. This represents you, sisters. Representation matters. Zaddy matters. Right? And never forget. The African American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll always have yours. Yeah. Don't think so. Lord. You called him an old fart. Man. Let's see what I got there. I think there was one more too. Were they over here? I mean, these people be having like real tough, high vibrato for all of these non-foundational Black American issues. It's like, hey, what about that water? Hey, what about them homeless vouchers? Hey, get your effing away from me. Take your way home. Ain't nobody in Washington did more than me. I mean, start talking when it come to us, you start getting cussed at. Why y'all effing with me? Hey, what about that reparations? Why y'all effing with me? Now, how is that where the type of tone you take with that conversation? Like, hey man, we messed up over here and poverty has tore our asses up over, a course of so many years. Hey, I was part of that bill. I supported the bill. What? The reparations bill? You mean HR 40? Yeah, that bill. That's a big sign of support. I don't really remember. What's the name of it again? Lord. Oh, yeah. And before I get to that other part, wait, no, let me get this in there. That's right. I'm back on StreamYard, so I can get more than one video in my studio at a time. That's great. So bear with me, family. Got to get used to being back over here. But I got to say, I ain't pixelating. I ain't popping. I ain't cracking. Man, feels good. All right, so here we go. These folks again.
Saying it's comprehensive is in fact comprehensive, and that it includes people from the Caribbean and from Africa, which had heretofore been done by diversity visas. We want to be sure that the people we represent, those who come from underserved countries, poor countries, we want to be sure that the people we represent, those who come from underserved countries, poor countries,
of being torn over it, right? Should we be invested in DACA? Is DACA our issue? Why is DACA an issue that's important for the African American community?
Well, the African American community, as every community, should be aligned with issues of justice and righteousness and what's important.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to lend my voice to those of my colleagues on the importance of comprehensive immigration reform. The promise of the American dream is what brings people from all corners of the world to this nation. This country was founded on the principle that here lies the land of opportunity and that anyone can achieve success through hard work. But for the millions of undocumented immigrants of Hispanic, Asian, and African descent living in America today, the American dream is just a promise they hope their children may one day realize. Many immigrants are confronted with the same harsh realities that plague communities of color every day.
To the issue of diversity visa program, who did not get in the normal visa system, it has proven to be a way of helping those who come from the continent of Africa, those who come from a number of other areas
where ain't none of them America. Now, all this stomping and stumping, just to put that out there, family, all they are coming out, they do PSAs and some more for everybody else while having our name on their organization. So when people blue, no matter who, hell no. Man, I mean, do you hear that's my reaction to the sound of blatant treason. Oh my goodness. So let's not stop there. Let's hear this, because again, this isn't an isolated incident. There's something to this, family.
We have a lot of similar issues that we're being faced with today. And I'm proud of our culture. Our culture has impacted all cultures all over the world. I mean, there's nowhere in the world that you can go and someone doesn't know the name Bob Marley. Just think about that. A man who came from a tiny little island in the Caribbean is known all over the world. He only lived to be 30-something years old, and his life has impacted the world in a major way, and not just musically.
All right, let's unpack that. So, the Caribbean influence that influences us is seen best reflected in Bob Marley. Well, those of us who understand musical history, especially of Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, they started out as a what you call ska band, which is in American music form doo-wop. So they were the conk and lean guys, not reggae guys. That came later. I mean, even in Rita Marley's whole stuff, because she's the one who converted to Rastafarianism before he did. So she's basically the one who brought him into that. So it's just even the story of Bob Marley would, you have to say, no, it's not an influence over here at all. He was influenced by here and then flipped it down there. So absolutely backwards. But, you know, like we say around here with these tethers and wannabe white supremacists, when all else fails, they lie. You know what I'm saying? You got Fat Joe hosting the BET, was it Hip Hop Awards? Like, okay, that's where it's going. And again, remember, BET is not black owned. That is owned by Viacom, Universal. So what do they want with pushing an idea of this Puerto Rican influence on our art forms? Well, it might have something to do also with how this thing is starting to turn out. Because you know how Meghan Markle all of a sudden has her podcast, and yeah, I've been telling y'all from day one when they moved here, it's like they're gonna have their kids on American soil, so they have a royal that is eligible to run for president. Can y'all see that set up now? So you have Meghan Markle with her podcast, and now she's all of a sudden black. And it's like, oh, was it dealing with that royal family that you got a chance to learn about what being black is? Let's hear what Don Lemonade had to say about that.
Of course, she's got this podcast. It's so popular right now. Mm-hmm. Part of it, of course, is because it's Meghan Markle, but she's also got these huge high-profile guests, Serena or Williams. In this case, it's Mariah Carey, who she was speaking with yesterday when she said this.
Yeah. I think for us, it's so different because we're light-skinned. You're not treated as a black woman. You're not treated as a white woman. You sort of fit in between. I mean, if there's any time in my life that it's been more focused on my race, it's only once I started dating my husband. Then I started to understand what it was like to be treated like a black woman, because up until then I had been treated like a mixed woman. And things really shifted.
You've talked.
I would have to ask that question. I've never heard as many mixed people I know. I've never heard as a mixed person. I was treated as a mixed person. I have never heard that. And I'm in Portland, Oregon. There's plenty of mixed people here. I have never heard that. What the hell is she talking about? See, when you start seeing things like this, there's something to it. Because she's not all of a sudden out of nowhere identifying as black. But look at what she's doing. She gets to throw dirt on a dying queen so that a view of the royal family can basically die with her while giving her cred in America. Y'all see how this is working? Let's check this out.
Talked a lot about this, Don, this concept.
Yeah, well, look, there are a couple of things at work here. There's colorism, which I talk about. There's colorism in the black community, but there's also, this is also for people, in some ways she's saying that she had privilege. And so therefore it didn't apply to her because it never happened to her, right? She was a mixed woman. People didn't really know how to react to her. They didn't know if she was black or
Don Lemon, you dirty bastard. You see how fast he snuck that lie in? Oh, we have colorism in the black community. No, the hell we don't. No, we do not. That is a lie, Don Lemonade. No, the industry that promotes a certain phenotype or look or aesthetic, they dictate something. But guess what? Even the companies that have black rappers, there's still somebody back there selling a image, and they have an image that they are trying to sell. So don't get it twisted. This woman knew what time it was in the business. She's part of Hollywood. She's not stupid. And she's been working, a working actress. I've just been treated as a mixed person. No, the hell you have not. There's no such thing, woman. And you know good and damn well you wasn't hanging around black folks. Here's the thing. It just became real when she got her ass in front of them white folk. They showed her, no, don't matter about your mixedness. No, you still one of them. That's what she's talking about, but still will not be truthful. Well, it wasn't until I started dating my husband. Yeah, from his own family. Aboriginal woman, welcome. Colorism in the black community. So now he's putting it on us. Absolutely. Kid Gravity said, only with the tethers. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Robin Cooper, he's trying to put that on us. Well, of course, there's colorism in the black community, but, and there's racism everywhere. Stop.
Right, but she didn't get the full black treatment because people weren't sure that she was, black. I think most African Americans probably looked at her and said, oh, I know that's a black woman, but I think the larger culture may not have realized that. But
then why the hell did you throw colorism out there when it came to the black community, Don? That was absolutely unnecessary. Because at the end of the day, this ain't got nothing to do with the black community. She's not married into the black community. She wasn't out here dating the black community. And her daddy ain't part of the black community. And as far as her mother goes, she's a divester. Again, not being part active of the black community. So what the hell are you talking about, Don?
She essentially, what she is coming from is a place of privilege where she did not have to deal with racism until she married a white man, and she's got all this criticism and all this attention, and suddenly she understood or understands what it's like to be part of a group of people, especially women in this country or in Europe, who are discriminated against. So I think it was eye-opening for her. It's certainly real. And, it's interesting. Mariah Carey has a very similar experience. I remember when Mariah Carey came about in the 90s, people didn't know what to do with her. In that podcast, she talks about even people not knowing how to do her hair, and her, the people who were in charge of her and trying to establish her as an artist didn't really know how to market her.
None of them. Yeah, I'm not sure. We're not going to rewrite history, Don. So let's keep it a buck. There was no black influence around Mariah Carey. Matter of fact, when she came out, they did everything to avoid even acknowledging that she was mixed. It wasn't until about the third record till that truth even came out, because then maybe pictures of her father started popping up. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to acknowledge it now. But hell no. They came out, oh, here's this white girl. Who's this white girl? They did not correct no one. They didn't correct no one. I remember, because I was like, my partner, oh, my partner, man. He was into that Mariah Carey first single. He liked that Vision of Love. Man, we went out doing like school shopping towards the end of summer. You know how, you and the homies used to go to the mall back. Some of y'all might be too young. Y'all just shopped on Amazon. But back then, we would go to the mall for our school clothes. And man, this cat bought that tape. I'm like, why'd you buy that? We over here buying like rap. He over here buying Vision of Love. Like, brother, the hell is this? I think I bought Tony, the Revival. And he over here buying a Mariah Carey single. But yeah, nonetheless, that song ended up being big and being the big blow up of her career. And at that time, she was nothing but white. Because they were playing off a white girl who can sing like a black girl. So her daddy being black would kind of mess that up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's some of us who do remember history. All of a sudden she was mixed. Stop. Like I said, it wasn't until me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers. Because that's when, you know, the truth started surfacing. And I think subsequently, it might have had something to do with Tommy Mottola, allegedly.
Her as a black woman? Do they market her as a mixed woman? Do they market her as a white woman? They didn't really know how to do it. So I think it's I think it's an eye-opening podcast, and I commend Meghan Markle.
Hell, they didn't. Eye-opening podcast. No, it ain't. No, it's not. You're just trying to get her in front of black folks now. See the pivot? So now you're gonna see her. They're gonna be hanging out with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Mark my word, family. It's a play. You might see because remember when the last UN session, they had Harry up there speaking. It's like, what country does he represent? Why is Harry speaking? Like, not Prince Charles at the time, or even William. It's Harry. Harry the American? Hope y'all paying attention. I hope y'all are paying attention, boy. You know how what you seeing is like old school family ties. How you mesh one end to the next, entering, marrying, and all that. It's kind of like that on a political scale. Because these people, remember, remaining in power is the name of the game. So everything that they are doing is about that. It is not a shift. It ain't idle. You got a lot of brain dead people out here who be like, well, they just do it. Can't they just be having fun? No, they can't. Because every waking moment they know that they are in jeopardy of one day losing everything in a flash. So hell no. Don't sleep on them. I see people, oh man, they ain't worried about us. Okay. However, when people tell you that, you know, you just got to know what it is. Like, okay, you ain't too sharp. You're not too familiar with how these people get down. You know what I'm saying? And again, shout out Dr. Anthony Browder.
We have to take this thing seriously. We are at war. People destroy us, and the first battlefield in any war takes place in the mind. Whoever controls your perception of self has already won the battle. So we've got to be serious. I also understand that not all of us are prepared to be serious. Not all of us have the mental capabilities of being serious because of all of the things that we've been consuming that have destroyed our brain cells. So that's a reality.
Facts. Big facts. So, going on to the next. Get this in here. That war that goes on in the mind is very, very deep. Also understand when people say spiritual warfare can also look like The energy in a Twitter space or the energy of content. Either way, however it will hit you, or energy in music or environment. Those things are all elements of an issue, a potential issue. And so being that we are talking about spiritual warfare, don't let yourself be so susceptible by ingesting other people's lostness. You know what I mean? Because we got this situation that done happened. Where is this? It's this situation that happened out in Memphis. And this cat done went live, went and shot up a bunch of people. White supremacists are very happy because they finally have a mass black shooter. However, with this black shooter, he has a documented situation of a mental crisis going on. So it's kind of interesting that, this dude, they said his friend was, friend was deleted last month. And then I guess he just was slowly unraveling. Well, not really all that slow. And then he went on a deletion spree by way of firearm. And then I think it's today or last night. Either somebody associated with him or a copycat started putting a threat out in Memphis to basically copycat
All right. Looks like we're back. Okay. Check. Okay. So like I said, there was a copycat crew that was they're threatening to go out there. I don't know if they have found them yet. But they're calling them young brothers terrorists. Take note. I just cannot help but notice how that T-word on these cats. Because, you can't get January 6ers to be called terrorists. But this one guy who went on a shooting spree, I guess somehow he fits the bill now. Go figure. Here's the other thing that's weird. They took this cat in alive. Not that I have my tin foil fedora on, but they took him in alive, family. Maybe it's me. Maybe I've just been living on this earth a little too long to think that humanity would be different. You said YouTube is playing with my voice. You know what? Let me go ahead and see if I can fix that. And I'm going to play this video.
We begin with breaking news this morning. A night of terror Violence and fear coming to an end after a 19-year-old man went on a deadly shooting spree across the city of Memphis. Just a horrifying night for so many. And we want to get you up to date on the very latest. Here is what we know right now. The suspect is in custody. His name is Ezekiel Kelly. This is a new mugshot that we just got into the Fox 13 newsroom. We know police say that he shot 7 people, killing 4 of them. The location of his shooting spanned across the city, and police say at least 8 separate locations were involved. We know some locations of the shootings included Mitchell Heights. And during his shootings, police say that Kelly was posting videos of the attacks across Facebook. Eventually, police captured Kelly after a chase in Whitehaven at Ivan and Hodge Roads. He is being charged with first-degree murder, but we are expecting many more charges this morning. And Fox 13's Jeremy Pierre joins us live from Whitehaven, where this all came to an end. Jeremy, what do we know this morning?
Well, this morning, Ezekiel Kelly, this man right here, charged with 1 count of first-degree murder. We're expecting more charges to come throughout the day. And let me tell you this is where it all ended. Ivan and Hodge here in Whitehaven. Look, this was a crazy, crazy scene last night. It was an end to a horrific night. All across the city, a lot of people just scared, and it was a moment last night where this area right here flooded with Memphis police officers, law enforcement from other areas, crime scene tape stretching as far as that building you see over there with those blue lights. I mean, you can still see some of the crime scene tape still attached to a stop sign and a yield sign here in this neighborhood in Whitehaven. Now, of course, we want you to stay with us all throughout the day here on Fox News, specifically here on Good Morning Memphis. We're going to continue to stay on top of this story all throughout the day. Again, horrific night. It came to an end right here in this neighborhood. You can already imagine how these folks felt when this all ended right in their backyards. Reporting live this morning here in Whitehaven, Jeremy Pierre, Fox 13 News.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. And this morning we are also hearing from Memphis city leaders. They held a media conference at midnight after the suspect was caught. Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland, Police Chief C.J. Davis, and new District Attorney Steve Mulroy, all talking about the violence that is impacting our city right now.
We need additional state laws to stop this revolving door. And I need the public to make your voices heard by those decision makers.
The Homicide Division and other investigative units are actively working these crime scenes now, and numerous felony charges are pending.
It's our policy that repeat violent offenders deserve a strong response.
Why is this not open?
And this morning, we do have new accounts from people who were witnessing this horrible tragedy firsthand. Taking to the shooting at the Auto Zone on Jackson, we spoke with people there from one community group, including pastors who were giving out food to the homeless in that area. They said that they heard the gunshots and saw the victim. They ran to that victim, who they say was shot in the side.
See, that's one of the reasons why we were out here, because there's so much crime in Memphis, and we're trying to do our part to get people to get closer to God, because there's a lot of evil out here in Memphis.
That witness saying that they stayed with the shooting victim until an ambulance came in at last check. Police saying that victim is in critical condition. We, of course, are going to stay on top of all of the latest developments on this deadly shooting rampage here in Memphis. We're working throughout the morning to get you the latest details and make sure that you're updated. So stick with us here on Fox 13, on air on fox13news.com. All right, we want to get to your weather now.
Okay, family, just 1 second. Let me see. Okay. Check. Y'all can hear me? Hopefully y'all can. It sounds a little crackly. Is it still crackly to y'all?
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now? Boy, StreamYard. Boy, we're going to have to work this little figure function out. Because I don't know what the hell. Boy, this thing tripping like a mug, boy. All right. Now let's see where we're going next. Because I want to talk about this Obama painting. Well, not the portraits, but he had a little bit to say. So I want to get into a little bit of that press conference here in a second, and because when we are doing our thing in the foundational Black American space, especially new Black media, the grassroots, the B1, when we apply pressure, the world takes notice. And they send all little minions and all little tactics out here to disrupt things. Well, sometimes you can disrupt things by sensationalism. And what better piece of sensationalism, which, by the way, a portrait of the former president being entered in, and the first lady being entered into the White House is not a new thing. But you best believe they milked it. You understand what I'm saying? Also, you had Joe Biden kind of do his Führer speech. And I'm not sure what y'all thought about that. He out there with the red background light. I am going to do this and we're going to talk. Yeah, man. He gets out there with his ambiance of wickedness and enjoys what he says. Oh, we got to play this. And we have so many people in our midst that will tell us that we are fools for not wanting to vote blue no matter who. And I say, well, there's a good reason why we're not. Because we have no reason to. Also, you got people like Stacey Abrams out there, complete man hater, but wants something from Black men, in this case, votes. And she still can't even talk to us in a proper tone. There was a person that hit me up the other day. They said they were a presidential candidate and wanted to get up on the stage to speak. However, of course, our space the other day was a foundational Black American Freedmen United space. So it's not the place for a non-Black person to get on the platform, especially uninvited, and speak. But when you have a Black audience, there's a lot of people that come out of the woodwork and say, hey, let me get in front of this. No. This stage is by invitation only. We do spaces that everybody can come on, but this is a particular mission that we are getting accomplished here. So, things have to be done a certain way. And so that's how we did it. And look at the success. Amina or Miria, Welcome, welcome. Jay Walker, welcome. You know, Dominique Devereaux, I see you. I see you. You said, Dominique Devereaux said, but Zilla, our ancestors died for us to have the right to vote. Ain't that the line? They love that line, man. Hey, man, you know, they died and got dog sick on them just to vote. No, they were voting for something. Vote. The agenda of what you're voting for is the important thing. But see how they do us. And we have unfortunately had generations that have not figured out how to instill in us camaraderie. And we have those amongst us right now that still have an issue with dealing with camaraderie. And I want to touch on something real quick. Let me get this in here. Let me pause this. Because I'm going to play the audio of this. But I want y'all to see what I'm looking at. So as you see, they had our brother Dwan B on. You know, one of these was a natural born man, now transitioned into a trans woman. They did not tell Brother Umar or Brother Dwan B that that's what they were going to be talking about. However, I'm sure this one over here in the right corner, Pike Place Fish Breath, she absolutely had to be aware, I'm certain. But, you know, who knows? The way she likes to lie on black men, I'm sure she'll say that wasn't the truth. Because she believes that there is such a thing as black male worship, which is absolutely idiotic. And you know what's so funny? Synthetic is going to be left behind. Soggy G is going to be left behind. But why? Because she's bitter and she's angry, and everybody that subscribes to her philosophy is just as such. The buy a cat, buy a dog, die alone club. That's not really the place that you should aspire to be, ladies. So with that being said, also understand that when this type of woman speaks, she's also a traitor and treasonous to our whole entire community. Because by attacking black men, you attack the protection and defense. Who, in a right mind, looks to always downplay their defense? And now we say, well, black men don't protect black women. Folks, we better understand. And I need to make sure I make this clear. This problem isn't really about the Soggy G's of the world. It's about all of y'all who have friends like Soggy G that don't check the Soggy G's. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't tell her she wrong. You don't tell her she dead wrong. Now, some reason might also be because, you know, she has already exited herself out of the dating pool by that nasty, horrible attitude. So, but at the same time, that is not going to be conducive to a productive community. So let's hear the sounds and the lives of one Soggy G.
Cynthia G, white supremacy, does it exist in your world? And has it affected black men?
Absolutely, it exists. And black men have worked in tandem with white supremacy since they've come in contact with it. And this is why I say in the black community, we have very disingenuous, very dishonest discussions, especially when it's regarding black men, because we do have a black male worshiping culture. So what we do within that culture, and Umar Johnson is showing it today, is absolve black men from any accountability for what they've done. Number one, we wouldn't be in a system of white supremacy had it not been for black men. So if you want to go all the way back to history, then let's go back to history when black.
The system of white supremacy is global. somehow, Cynthia G says black men have worked in tandem. I guess somehow being on the plantation, being in the fields, maybe getting maimed in Jim Crow. I don't know where that tandem with white supremacy came in at. I didn't see much of a tandem come January 6th. But can you believe that this soggy noodle is still out here talking this? How much more of a dirtbag liar can you be? Well, I'll tell you. When you have made your whole career on a bed of lies, what they say, you make your bed, you got to sleep in it. So she's willing to go down with the ship. I don't feel any type of way about what's going on with this sister, because in my estimation and calculation, I'd say she should have about 2 more years of relevance, and that's probably already dwindling. The sands of time is clock is up, because as more women realize, you know what, being angry and bitter and unapproachable is not really where I want to find myself in my latter days. However, this one here, she's willing to take every one of you with her. Now understand, this type of spirit is no different than a person that is in the Congressional Black Caucus. Because at the end of the day, if you are doing something that is detrimental to the community, you are just simply a dirtbag traitor. And this is harmful for all young future families in our community. This poison here. One of the things I told you about spiritual warfare, you got to recognize the devil. Soggy G is nothing but a double-forked tongue demon. She couldn't tell you the truth if she tried. And hopefully, one of these days, her truth will meet her face to face. We can all pray for that. Good luck, sis.
Men were selling their own people into white supremacy. Let's go back into history when 16 years off the plantation, Black men weren't worried about a war being waged on them. They were worried about getting access to white women. That's what you were worried about. And it's interesting. There's a reason why I feel like Umar.
You know, it's so crazy. These people just get out here to start lying. I mean, you just get up here and just start bold-faced lying. 16 years after the plantation, they wasn't worried about war being waged on them. They was just worried about getting with white women. What the hell happened with Rosewood? And why would you think that white women were so eager, or there was no open anything like that? What the hell is she talking about? 16. So you mean before 1900, all of these black men were looking to go get with white women? No, Cynthia G. Matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. All of those mulattoes and that were coming off the plantation, as soon as they got off the plantation, they married dark. Very first thing they did. They absolutely married dark. So if you're going to talk about foundational Black American history, I wish you would get that part correct. Because no, after slavery, they didn't breed lighter. They bred darker. The hell you talking about? That's what I'm saying. You get these people out here and they just start talking dumb. That's why they put them on TV. And then the sucker, the sucker move was really to have these two brothers up on with this individual talking about black men and black women relationship issues, and you throwing this monkey wrench in the program. if nothing else, they should have at least had that even and had one more panelist, which would have been a trans man. But no, this was about emasculating these two brothers, which Duan B is a married man. And then you have Dr. Umar, that you know was a straight heterosexual man. Now look at how they bombarding him and they letting Cynthia G just get up here and lie.
Focus mostly on me and Hope's attitudes, and it's because he can't accurately answer the question. He mentioned names, not accomplishments. And the reason being is because—
I think he mentioned those names specifically because the accomplishments of those people don't have to be explained.
Right, but those accomplishments are also accomplishments that I've heard Umar Johnson speak negatively about, specifically the civil rights movement and how damaging it was to Black people. But now he wants to sit here and say the very people who accomplished that were accomplishing something beneficial when, in his own opinion, that wasn't beneficial and did more harm to the community than good. So I think that because we're having such a—
Okay, and so here again, once is the disingenuous nature of this woman. You see what she just did there? She just took a non sequitur point and interjected it like it was the entire topic of the conversation. Well, Umar said this and Umar said that. She went to a professional middle schooler to basically sidestep the truth. This is pathological lying at its finest. And so you're clear, because, I know a lot of people get confused. Oh, she got a sweet voice. I don't know how you can get used to ever hearing this voice too often. But nonetheless, she got maybe she done hit up somebody up there in Seattle, got that good Somali bang. Got that Somali bang going on. Yeah, must have hit Dr. Kaba's people. Yeah, Dr. Kaba's family must have got you straight up there, huh? Went on to the African market up there in Seattle, huh? Not the bang. Lord.
Dishonest discussion where Black men don't want to take accountability for what they've done. They want to be the victims of society, but then they want submission from the women. The bottom line is I'm not willing to deflect from the fact that, number one, Black men are the greatest non-white contributors to white supremacy. Let's just—
And now you have officially heard the line of a batshit crazy coon. Because this is one thing we just talked about Tuesday. The biggest tether, what's the community family? Is it the Black man? The biggest assist of white supremacy are Black men? The hell is she talking about? See, this is the type of thing that I just wonder when people start listening to her. It's like, hey, man, if you guys are into this too much, I'm going to have to start wondering about your sanity or just your emotional state, because why does this make sense to you? This woman is dead wrong and she's lying. So for her audience, it's like, damn, y'all just like being lied to. Get your vacation money ready. There's a whole bunch of dates waiting for you over there in the motherland.
be real. White supremacy couldn't even exist without Black men's compliance. They're always uplifting whiteness, biracial children, and trying to assimilate. And that's why I went back to the notion of the only time Black men truly feel like there's a war against them is when they feel like they're being punished for something white men do. At the end,
All right, family. I don't know what's going on, but we are going to figure it out. I am going to reset this window. Can y'all hear me? Hopefully y'all can. Let me see. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. My good grief. All right, let's just do this. Okay, we're gonna put this out there. All right, family. So hopefully you can hear me. Good, 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 good. So I had to make some adjustments here because for some reason this window just completely froze on me. I mean, completely froze. It won't even close. All right. It's still not closing. How interesting. Wow. Well, nonetheless, you know, family, for the powers that be and all of the ghosts in my machine, let me just let you know. So just so you know, I mean, you know, actually crazy. I see myself on screen. Can you hear me? That is crazy. Okay, so you can hear me from one, you see me from the other. I didn't even know my camera was back on because this window is just absolutely frozen. So let me see if I can kill that. Oh, okay, finally. Yeah. Okay, that's closed on one end, but it really hasn't done anything on another. All right. Well, you know what I can do while I am getting this ready. I was going to do something earlier anyway. So, tell you what. Let's just go ahead and play some music. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do that, and we will be right back.
I think we need to talk about some things are going on in our community, yeah. Ooh, now back in the days, a nigga got touched up when he done fucked up, and it was all good in the hood. You had to earn your respect now. But nowadays, you got bands over here, stands over here, stands over there. That's why I'm down to just a few homies. This is for my real ones, yeah. You know, Ray, don't feel none. Hate all you want, I guarantee that money still come. Big papa to these children. I've been on these meal runs. You should be giving thanks. Pilgrims, come and catch a wave now. You rather catch a case. I'd rather you catch a fade than catch a bullet to the face. Better man up. We come to get down. This ain't no stand up. Respect due. I come forward now. Fuck what your plan was in LA, VA. Still in PDX, but they better relay. I'm coming for them checks. Need a whole lot of commas for my people. That's my set. My circle small as your threats. Every dot I got, I connect. I'm a thoroughbred. Laced up to the world end. All my niggas are riding, tearing shit up like a whirlwind. They're my day ones, literally, same ones. Two things to remember, who you got and where you came from. This is from my day one. Always bring it around. This is from my day
All right. Hopefully y'all can hear me decently. I literally had to reset my entire computer, man. So, yeah, it looks like we're fairly clear though. But yeah, we had to actually literally restart. And I'm still waiting for the restart. I don't know what is going on. I just had a whole freeze. But to be quite honest, over the course of this last 2 weeks, there's pretty much been a ghost in everybody's machine. Matter of fact, today with Dwan B's Twitter space, him and Dr. Short, they actually had to like go out of it and then restart it with my moderator Nikki the God as a host, so they could even hear each other. Because I was having issues with hearing people I was hosting. And then if you go in and look at the actual like video, so if you were going in live and looking at the space, sometimes it would show me as a host, it might show Black Alpha as a host, and vice versa. It's been really, really, really weird, family. I cannot believe how long it has taken for this. I'm still like on the before it even like load screen. So whatever was going on, yeah, they got all up in my stuff today. So maybe I had an update that was just working in the background. Maybe that's the case. But I just can't help but notice these type of issues have only happened as of late. And it did not start happening until me and Black Alpha Network started doing Twitter Spaces. Can't help but notice it. So as soon as we started doing Twitter Spaces, and then, you start seeing positive turns taking place, all of a sudden there's issues and ghosts in the machine. You know what I'm saying? So I find that real interesting. Okay, man, all of this time, so we've heard a whole song. I've been sitting here talking for a few minutes, and now my screen is just coming back to the home screen right now. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Something going on out there. Oh yeah, and this is something I've learned. A lot of us are on the radar of them folks, and knowingly so. But here's the thing I've always said. Your numbers, especially here on YouTube, absolutely do not measure up to your influence. So if they are really worried about influencers, more so than anything. So if you can excite anybody or influence anybody or just give anybody a positive affirmation that would be beneficial to one's life, just like today with the information that was coming out in that space, they were literally messing with the doggone space just that quick. And it's like, well, damn, man, we got to be able to have some kind of space to where we can communicate with each other, and communicate with each other without feeling some kind of way that we will have to worry about outsiders, well, or insiders at this moment. I mean, because again, when you're dealing with COINTELPRO, they don't get outsiders. They, like I said, the grassroots COINTELPRO tactics, understand that they're going to go get somebody that is likable and able to get in and close. And then once they get in good and close, got you offering their, you get the protection of the crew and whatnot. Next thing you know, they running off the rails on you. So it's like, well, either I stick by their side or I have to separate myself. And a lot of people just don't have the personal inner strength to let something go where they know when it's wrong. They'll be like, well, no, man, that's still, I feel like I'm abandoning the homie. But really what's happening is this person is literally using that against you. And sometimes these people can be COINTELPRO. They're trained to get their mark. They're trained to know what to pick up on, all the different personality traits to get folks hemmed up and caught up. And when you're in a black space like this, Judy Queen said they watching and listening. Yeah, absolutely. When we're in these spaces talking very positive, and for those of y'all who have been in Black Alpha and myself spaces, y'all already understand what has been going on. So as big as our spaces end up turning out, they probably would have been bigger than that. Wow, I gotta turn on Windows security, man. Oh, the hackers trying to get the Somali hackers trying to get into my computer. The Djiboutians? Is it the Djiboutians? What would you call them, dude? What are they called? Djiboutians? AK Sound God, they always mess with us. Absolutely. Tia, you said they are looking to see what influences you have. Testing. Yes, indeed. Project Leroy, I see you. They absolutely can't stand. I mean, black positivity. Black positivity. That is what we've been talking about. Black excellence is what we've been celebrating, by the way. Speaking of black excellence, you will definitely like our next space. Okay, we're gonna open this window today or what? Family, this is just incredible. So yeah. And I for those of y'all who have followed me for some time, y'all should be aware that like, oh, this type of thing really is not new. Because I've been fooled with by these people for quite some time. So, and now with as y'all know, the rally is off for the time being, or off. Had to be something else done at this point. But just something to be mindful of is when you have people that are willing to put themselves out there, and do something for the family. And it's going to be a main big thing. Anybody who would be willing to put themselves before that probably should be ostracized. You know what I mean? And it would be one thing if it's just like, okay, this happens. But when you see, I always got to look at things in certain ways. We're having technical difficulties nonstop talking about positivity. If we were doing love and hip hop or love and Twitter spaces, then everything would be honky dory. Now, we can't have a space where all of us can sit up there and host without hassle in a day. But yet, a marathon space that could be talking about anything, absolutely anything other than what we are talking about at the moment will be, it had no problem. None. And it's always us that have the issues. The ones when and I ain't saying nobody ain't talking positive, but I will say this, outside the big three, y'all not doing the positive spaces like we are doing. That may happen after the fact, but let's keep it a buck. That's us leading that way. And and that's cool. It's cool for us to lead that way. It would be good for other people to get in where they fit in. And that's the beauty of being in your own lane. So where we start running into trouble are people starting to trying to mess themselves in other people's lanes. And that doesn't work. I do what I do. Other people do what they do. And so on and so forth. We will always have people that say, well, hey, man, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? I don't really get into that. I don't get into that at all. One of the main reasons being is because if you're in your own lane, have somebody with a fly-by-night suggestion, that tells me that you're not firmly in your lane. You know what I mean? So, you know what you want to do. You know what your purpose is. You know what lane you're in. Ride that. If somebody could come to you and say, well, hey, man, with this would be this or that or the other. If that motivates you to move in that direction, fine. That's what you're doing. However, for myself, I'm one that, this is one of those things that's a real thing for me. Passion, and it's definitely not about social media. That's a part, I guess. This medium right here, YouTube, that's a part. But trust me, the hassles that we can have out here, damn sure don't come from being on no damn YouTube. No, it's the influence part that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that people can inspire on a positive, just inspiring Black people on a positive level is a threat to the powers that be. I mean, just look how long it's taken me just get back on my main camera. You know what I'm saying? But, we have always had people that look to infiltrate us and then tell us that, certain things are different than what we know them to be. Afro Elite in the house. What is going on, my brother? I see you. We are having major technical difficulties today. Had to do a whole restart of my computer. Had to switch over to the phone. Trying to get this sound in order. Hopefully we can do that. But man, and I just made the return back to StreamYard. That's what's so crazy. So I come back to StreamYard, and this is what I'm doing. Lord. You know, one of the weirdest things that happens to me, now, I gotta say, everybody knows when I go live, right? Y'all know when I go live. I go live Wednesday and Friday. Y'all know I go live. Family, tell me, why is it while I'm literally live, I'm getting messages for Twitter Space? I've got multiple notifications for Twitter Space. I guess I don't have anything better to do right now. Oh man, let me see. Yeah, I saw Afro. You had a space earlier, man. I'm surprised I didn't get the notification for that. Let me see. That's not it. Why is this not up? Check. This is not on. What is going on here? Yes. Okay. Hopefully we can get back in here. Oh, CH464, I see ya. Shout out to you. Hopefully we can get back up in the studio and hear something worth a dizam. Or I might have to use one mic and another camera. Who knows? But we're going to get through it. We definitely going to get through it tonight. So, okay, there I see myself. And then you're using the wrong microphone, of course. Oh, yes. Check. Okay, we are really having issues. And of course, y'all seen I only had this problem on StreamYard. Okay, now I can hear myself. Let's get into the studio. Okay. All right, we're gonna try to get in here. Let's see if this can work. All right, there we go. Brief. Get in the studio, man. Okay. All right. It looks like we're back. Hopefully y'all can hear me just fine. Woo-wee. All right. Shout out StreamYard. All right. Gotta love it. But you know, they hate the truth. It's like, damn. You had to get me you said it sounds a lot better. Yeah. Hopefully this lasts. One can hope. You know, but it looks like everything is clear. It looks like I'm still clear. So that's cool. All right. Jeez. So here's another little part. A little piece real quick. This is just a minute and a half. And but before that.
Harry had THC in her system.
Okay.
When African Americans, Negroes, challenged the system and won, and got in Title VII, where it had in it the section dealing with discrimination based on race, color, creed, national origin, sex. That opened up the floodgates, or that created the umbrella, that created the groundswell for the women's movement, the Latinos, the gays, when these things, these embers began to flow back down, it reached all kinds of people. The irony of it all, though, is that the masses of blacks who many of whom lost their lives and whatever, they're still at the back of the bus in terms of economics. And women have taken over, they have become the conductor almost of the bus. When you look at the Fortune 500 companies, they're proliferated all over the place. Hispanics are doing a great job, even though they're trying to hold them down, they're doing a great job of beginning to inculcate themselves into the mainstream. Asians have done the same thing.
And yes, they have. Yes, they have. All right. Said, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Good. Now we can get into Barack Obama, which might be the part that they didn't really want us to get into. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Before I get to that, let me get to this other joint. Yeah, maybe I just needed a good restart, and I'm using a different browser. So we'll see if this, one system will say, hey, we recommend you use this, and then the other thing will be like, nah, you should use this. Who really knows? But this little piece real quick is black talking heads trying to kind of represent black folks in the media like they are part of our community. Of course, we know they are not. But with that being said, let's hear them take their best shot.
Yeah, I don't know who it's not all Republicans, just MAGA Republicans are for. Like, I'm sure that there are some white supremacists who will vote with white supremacists who don't think they're white supremacists. We're happy that Biden didn't call them a white supremacist, but like, it's not for me. What was for me, and you mentioned this already, but this is, I think, a really great bit, where he says to the heckler, that dude, that man, that person from the other side is entitled to be outrageous. Totally. And that, to me, that is the difference between Biden and Trump. Totally. That is the difference between me and Jenny Thomas. Right. That is the difference between...
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Because when foundational Black Americans speak up, we're always challenged. You're sitting over here ignoring a whole water crisis in Mississippi. You have the news that had to cover black water companies going over there to step in when the government is worried about Pakistan and Ukraine. Total crisis with citizens. And they can't get no love from Mr. President Joe Biden, blah, man. Again, talking heads saying nothing.
Democrats and Republicans, because Republicans right now would have that heckler be beaten. Right. They would say that heckler... I don't know all Republicans, but Donald Trump would certainly...
See, now he's trying to give you the overemphasis on, oh man, see, Trump and, oh man, he's overhyping it to try to oversell the fact that Biden, well, that Trump's a racist, but he's trying to say Biden is different than Trump. I'll say, I mean, Donald Trump has never came out of his mouth as insulting as Joe Biden has to black folks. Now, you could talk about other groups, but when it comes down to us, hell no. The worst one to come out of his mouth talking disrespectful to us is Joe Biden.
He certainly has a record for saying, right? And Lindsey Graham would be like, okay, boss. Like, that's how they are at this point, right?
His message to the nation was, we're all in this together. I'm going to unify the country. And now he's out saying, two things. One, lots of y'all are fascists. And by the way, if you vote Republican, there's a decent chance that our democracy is no longer going to exist. These are not unifying messages
But he
by any
can't turn a
stretch.
blind eye to
But
that. I think you and I
can-
both agree he's doing it from a
Can the
place of
unifying
weakness.
message be that some of what he's saying is true? Because there are a lot of people, I got to tell you, Scott, a lot of folks who go, where's the lie? I don't see no lies detected.
I think there.
See how they put these black talking heads out there to act like they have some kind of connection with the community and the community sentiment. But then when they're addressed by the community, look at the reaction and the response they give the people. It's not a friendly response at all. So how are they so tear-jerking caring on TV? But when pressed, even on Twitter, you'll get blocked. But that's because these people are fake. And yes, they're black. They're on TV. So that means that the system and the powers that be like them. Or did you think it was because we like them? I think somebody have fell into that mental trap of believing that they put one that we would like. No. This is the one they like. The Bucci Cat, Don Lemonade.
There are 70, 80 million Americans who would say, just because I choose to vote Republican doesn't make me a fascist, and it doesn't make
But he
me
did
want
not
our
call,
democracy.
Scott, I got to be honest with you, he did not call all Republicans fascists. And
MAGA
80 million
Republicans.
Americans, he said MAGA Republicans,
Extreme.
and he made it into distinction.
But Republicans aren't the ones who had Joe Biden out every day saying, I'm going to unify the country. We're all in this together. We're not enemies.
But so unifying the country is also telling the truth, Scott. He's telling the truth about what is happening in the country for the most part. I'm not saying that everybody's a fascist.
If you go to the
Listen,
average...
hang on. I'm not even saying, I don't think it was the best thing for him to use that language. But you have to call a thing a thing. You have to call it what it is. You can't, that is unifying by bringing people around to the reality of what is.
Yeah, but the reality is there's racist white supremacists on both sides of the aisle, Don. But that's not what we really get from him, is it? He doesn't ever say that. He avoids that truth. So there was a person that I believe he came on, what was it, Tariq's, was that a space we came on? Because I think I heard D. Tubman's replay of it with this cat talking about Obama and why is it basically that it's not a cool idea or whatever to besmirch the idea of hope that Barack Obama has provided for Black America. It's like, no, he ain't did nothing. Well, yes, he did. He gave us hope. No, he didn't. You only have hope if you have something that is tangible at the end of the day. We can't say that has taken place with a Barack Obama at all, ever. But it sounds nice. Right? I guess, because that's how people be acting. Well, I mean, he's not just the president for black folk, he's the president for everybody. Lord. So, without further ado, let's hear from good old former Barack Obama.
President and Dr. Biden, Vice President Harris, and Second Gentleman Emhoff, thank you so much for your hospitality. Thanks for letting us invite a few friends to the White House. We will try not to tear up the place.
Well, those laughs sound pumped in. Okay. Political theater on cue, family. I mean, where is this? A Hollywood set?
Okay, here's the sign now, y'all. Applause, applause. Okay. Now. Stop. I mean, come on, man. Come on. How fake can you get? Rayvon Johnson, Crazy Black Star, what's going on? Oh, man. Come on, dude.
Someone once said that if you're looking for a friend in Washington, get a dog. Our family was lucky enough to have 2 wonderful dogs. But I was even luckier to have a chance to spend 8 years working day and night with a man who became a true partner and a true friend. Joe, it is now America's good fortune to have you as president. You've guided us.
Anybody in the chat agree with that? I think the growing reported numbers are definitely speaking against that. So again, remember, when all else fails, lie. Hold on. I want to stand up too. Oh, he's done a great job. Oh, Joe Biden, the great. So wonderful.
You have guided us through some perilous times. You've built on and gone beyond the work we all did together to expand healthcare, to fight climate change, to advance social justice, and to promote economic fairness. Thanks to your decency and thanks to your strength. Maybe most of all, thanks to your faith in our democracy and the American people. The country's better off than when you took office, and we should all be deeply grateful for that. So thank you so much. To all the former Obama-Biden staffers who are here in person, some of you are watching at home, thank you for being a part of this. When people ask me what I miss most about the White House years, it is not Air Force One that I talk about, although I miss Air Force One. It's the chance that I had to stand shoulder to shoulder with all of you. Oh, God. To have a chance to witness so many talented, selfless, idealistic, good people working tirelessly every day to make the world better. And for 8 years, and even longer for some of you, I drew on your energy and your dedication and your goodness. You inspired me, and I never wanted to disappoint you. And I tried to reflect the same heart and character that you displayed every day. Even during the toughest times, it was all of you that kept me going.
I just got to wonder, what was really motivating about this cat? Where is the connection? I guess, I see he's a black dude, but legitimately, where is the connection? Like, do y'all, anything he's saying, like, resonate in y'all spirit? Like, do you feel a camaraderie with this brother here? I'm just saying.
So it's good to be back, to have a chance to see all of you, and to once again say thank you. Now, as much as I miss our work together, what's been a special joy is to see what's happened since. Because so many of you are doing amazing things, whether it's in government, in the private sector, in academia, or nonprofits. And I'm especially glad to see so many of you serving President Biden, as well as you served me. Although now some of you who, let's face it, you were kids back then, are now in charge and running the show, which
speaks to the grooming process of do-nothing bootlicks. Y'all see? So there's a system of bootlicks. That's why we need to start looking at the people they present. Because they have the revolving, you know how you can go to them, them vending machines that got the sandwiches in them and they kind of roll up. Yeah, it's like that. They have that in these trained Marxists, like the little Tamika Mallory .2 chick they keep rolling out. And she's, her voice is pretty much already irrelevant. So that speaks to a system that they don't want the average person to penetrate. So they'll build these people up, then they'll start planting them in certain communities as community activists. And then, of course, they'll give them the airtime and the camera time and the name recognition to now we think that they're really activists and they were always only actors.
a little shocking. And may also explain some of the gray hairs I'm seeing on some of you. But it validates what I had always hoped, which was that our time together would only be the beginning of incredibly impactful careers. And some of you who I've had a chance to stay in touch with, I'm thrilled to see that you've started families of your own. I am a little disappointed that I haven't heard of anyone naming a kid Barack yet. Or Michelle. But there is still time. Finally, I want to say a special thanks to the White House staff. We had a chance to see them all beforehand.
Woohoo! Let me get past this a little bit. Okay, let me fast forward just a little bit.
Joe mentioned they will hang in the White House alongside portraits of other presidents and first ladies dating back to George and Martha. So it was
all these
important to find
whack-ass
the
jokes.
right people to paint. I want to thank Sharon Sprung for capturing everything I love about Michelle. Her grace, her intelligence, and the fact that she's fine.
Oh, boy. Now, I hope y'all are taking notice of something. Notice how the tone is very urban. Y'all, like dry ass jokes. Yes. But notice how they're trying to go to the urban vibe with the saltless wonder Obama and Miss I don't hire black folk Michelle Obama. Oh, representation matter. Don't you know she don't fool with y'all neither? All of her associates look like Kamala Harris. Better go see who worked for her. No, then go look who works for Kamala now. Boatload of non-black folk. So, just that tasty tidbit. But they come in there, families that have been in this country for centuries and ancestors that were slaves built this house that I sleep in. Shut up. Like, it's just a talking point.
She is. Her portrait is stunning. And I want to thank Robert McCurdy for taking on a much more difficult subject and doing a fantastic job with mine.
Jeez. So, okay. Let me see. He makes a little statement for him. Let me see.
So often get airbrushed, even take on a mythical status, especially after you've gone and people forget all the stuff they didn't like about you. But what you realize when you're sitting behind that desk, and what I want people to remember about Michelle and me, is that presidents and first ladies are human beings like everyone else. We have our gifts, we have our flaws. You've all experienced mine. We have good days and bad days. We feel the same joy and sadness, frustration and hope. And while it takes a certain amount of self-confidence to be president, there are nights where we lie awake wondering if this or that decision was the right one. I've always described the presidency as a relay race. You take the baton from someone, you run your leg as hard and as well as you can, and then you hand it off to someone else, knowing that your work will be incomplete. The portraits hanging in the White House chronicle the runners in that race. Each of us.
Says the leopard born of a jackal. I think that's enough of hearing from him. So again, I wanted to go down and just play that because again, this is one of those things that make people think that like, oh, everything's still okay. See, he came to the White House. See, man, like they almost act like Barack Obama would say something bad about Joe Biden if he's not doing a good job. It's like, no, he'll do a sucky job and he'll come out here and tell you he's doing great. I don't know what people think. Like they expect these people just to be, absolutely truthful or forthwith. No, they are selling you something. And what if they sold you? You heard Barack Obama tell you, what was it? That experiment with over 500 million people? He was real proud about that. Just, something to think about. He was real proud about that. Sigh. Yes, indeed. Now, I gotta play this other video. The family, we always know what to kind of expect in certain events. And of course, today is not gonna disappoint. Some of y'all, I'm sure, have seen this, but Lord, this is hilarious. I saw this earlier. It's like, you can't be serious. But Yo 103 Queenin, welcome. But let's hear about the Jamaicans who have such a strong influence on hip hop. That is, let's hear from them about their queen.
Nice lady, and we like how she walk, we like how she talk, and I miss her, and I feel it. So life goes on. It just said, all we have to do is just bury her, and just give God thanks and praise. Blessed love.
She have do her time, and the Lord take her home now. So I hope she repent and serve the Lord before she go. You understand? It's her time now, so she'll live even past the time. So that's how things goes.
Why does it seem that they are about 40 years behind us here. Like, y'all still on white Jesus? You can't be, right? Like, you have not surrendered to Babylon, have you? Well, I hope she gave her life to Christ. What? Lord. Whew.
We all have to go one day.
Well, her death, to me, if she could have the next 20 years, she could have lived to see, but she just gone and just say go. But God go with her.
I mean, I don't have any reaction to her death. I didn't expect her to die so suddenly. But, considering the fact that she would have been with us for quite a long while. But, I mean, I just hope all goes well for the country.
Well, it has shaken us up because knowing that she was around for such a long time and she's one of the longest serving, whatever. And, to lose her like this now, it leave back an impact, and we know we're not going to replace her, cannot replace her for the long service that she has done. So we feel it. Yeah, it has shaken us up.
Well, I'll say I'm not surprised. It's been a long time coming. Not to say that she won't be missed or her service won't be appreciated, but she was 96, so it was expected.
That is probably the most non-coonish in this entire situation. Lord. Oh, the queen. You got splum-bumper-clad queen. Yes, the queen, the queen, the queen. Oh, the queen. Reggie Lee. Need you subscribe to spam? I don't understand what that says. Oh, sad Queen Elizabeth should mean nothing to you Negroes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, well, if meaning, maybe something to mean, it'd be something to despise, but that's what we talk about, the colonized mind being defeated, because it's like, nah, you just can't let stuff like that roll. Speaking of colonized minds and being defeated, now I know y'all might have heard about this particular story, and Jeff Bezos had to pull this woman's card, and we've spoken about her before, and her Akata conversation. So, she's the one that calls us Akatas, and, oh, you guys should get over it. And, it's not a bad word. Yes, it is. And here's something that they always try to do. They try to dictate to us what is disrespectful or not. Ain't that odd? How you gonna dictate to somebody else what is important to them? How does that make sense? But, that's how people get down sometimes. Doggone shame, but nonetheless true. Oh, okay, I do have that. That's going to be too big. But, so you're, I can't even pronounce this woman's name. Yuba, or whatever, Juba, her name, whatever the hell her name is. She basically disparaged the queen. Now, she's the Akata lady that works for Carnegie Mellon in Pennsylvania. And, they didn't say anything about nothing when it was all, Akata business. But as soon as things changed, yep. They showed her that she did not have the complexion for the protection. By the way, the other picture is, her get down. So she's, on the liberal side of the game. And that's what it is, on the liberal side of the game. So yeah. But nonetheless, today we're talking about desperate times and desperate measures. When FBA Freedmen, when we pressed the issue, they had to roll out the Obamas. How about that? And remember when the North or South Carolina race was going on with Brother Marcel, they had to roll out the vice president to come speak on his behalf. And if you see Cruella, of course, that represents the recently deceased Queen of England. And then on the right, what do we see? That is a real, true, for real sign in Nigeria about defecating on the beach. Stop doing it. Don't defecate on the beach because beaches are not toilets. Lord, beaches are not toilets. No, they are not. Lord. So when you see things like that, what if you went to a country and was driving to your hotel and passed that sign on your way? What would you think? Like, hey, you told me that this would be this type of place.
You shade tree nigga.
Where did you send me? Let me out of this car. Oh, man. So, family, there's a story that I got to hit before I get out of here tonight. Where is that at? Okay, so check this out, family. I don't know if y'all heard about this story. I just seen it today. So we're gonna go into this. So it looks like this black woman from Michigan. It looks like she actually won the jackpot lottery, but I guess the people at at her bank basically said that accused her of having a fraudulent check. Why am I hearing another volume? Where's that coming from? I keep hearing my voice coming out of somewhere else. I don't even know where the hell that's coming from. Okay, but nonetheless, casino jackpot winner alleges Michigan bank wouldn't let her cash her prize because she is black. Lizzie Pugh filed a federal lawsuit against Fifth Third Bank, accusing white employees of stopping her from depositing the check. Quote, "I am 71 years old," unquote, she said. "Why would I steal a check and try to cash it?" Makes good sense of a question to me. So this article is from September 7th by Antonio Planas. A black woman from Michigan says she was racially discriminated against when 3 employees at Fifth Third Bank told her a casino jackpot check she was trying to deposit was fraudulent, according to the recent filed federal lawsuit. Lizzie Pugh, 71, tried to deposit the check on April 11th at one of the bank's Livonia branches, according to the suit, filed August 29th in U.S. District Court for Eastern Michigan. The lawsuit says Pugh had a check in hand from the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, where she had hit a slot machine jackpot on April 9th while out with a church group. Shout out, y'all. That was going to getting that tithe money at the slot machine. Had to go get that pastor's bread, because pastor need that Movado. Pastor need that Movado, and you can't be no cheap congregant. You got to get that pastor that Movado watch. Got to get him that Fendi suit. So, or you got to get him that new piece of jewelry. So when his jewelry gets stolen, he might have to just call insurance. Belly Ray, what's going on, brother? I see you in the house. Yes, and sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, I would have ended my trip early, Capricorners. For real. Let's see. Okay, so when Pugh arrived at Fifth Third Bank, where she did not have an account, 3 white female employees told her the check was fraudulent. When she tried to open a savings account, according to the suit, which does not name the employees also tried to keep the check, it says. Did y'all hear that? The employees tried to keep her money. So you're going to say, oh, well, this check is fraudulent, but then you're going to try to keep the check? Okay. Pugh's attorney, Deborah Gordon, said Wednesday that the check was for about $12,000 after the casino deducted the taxes from $20,000 jackpot. Damn. Must be nice. Pugh, according to the lawsuit, was raised in Alabama during the Jim Crow era and retired from Detroit public schools after 36 years. This is just one example of the continual hurdles that indignities that Black Americans face every day, Gordon says. A spokesperson for the Fifth Third Bank said in a statement, quote, "At Fifth Third Bank, we are committed to fair and responsible banking and prohibit discrimination of any kind. Our employees are trained to help every person with their banking needs, customer or non-customer, while minimizing the risk of any potential fraud," unquote. Here's the problem. The check was real. And the IRS already got their money. So where are you coming at to say that the check is fraudulent? How can that be? The IRS knew it was real, because trust me, if you hitting 20,000 at a casino, the IRS is coming for their cut. Straight up. That's weird. Okay. The hell? Oh, Lord. Got all kind of things going on over here. Let's see. So I think there was. Is this it? Okay, here we go. So the statement added, from our review of the claims, we believe our employees' actions have been misinterpreted. That said, we regret Miss Pugh Miss Pugh has come away feeling mistreated after her interactions at our branch. As our employees' actions were consistent with our process and the dual goals of serving our customers while also preventing potential frauds that can victimize both the bank and our customers. At the Livonia Fifth Third branch, Pugh, who is normally mild-mannered, refused to back down, especially when the bank tried to keep her check. Gordon said, the matter ended when Pugh threatened to call the police, Gordon said. Pugh ended up depositing the check at another corporate bank, Gordon said. Well, okay. We're going to say that her things might have been misinterpreted? No, they weren't. Because if you knew that check was fraudulent, you would have had no problem with her calling to police. Because you would have been all well within your right standing to get her arrested or to make at least get this on record. So it being a bank and having the person say, I will call the police, and then you give her check back? No, there's no misinterpretation. I've worked in banking. I know exactly what you was doing. You thought you was finna pocket that woman's money. Let's see. Because what they were going to do is, since it's like a cashier's check from a casino, it's not tied to a bank. So what they thought they were going to do is rob this woman of her money, go take that, pay the little extra little fees of the cash checking thing, and then run off with about $10,000 because they're going to take about $2,000 off of that. But this woman has already gave these folks $8,000 of right off top of her earnings. So these people were absolutely trust me, I worked at the bank and I used to like literally balance tellers work. I used to balance whole branches. So yeah, these tellers knew exactly what they were doing. Don't you ever let nobody tell you that they didn't know. Yes, they did. Quote, she made me feel humiliated the way they treated her. She was made to feel humiliated from the way they treated her from the time she walked in the door and when they told her the check was fraudulent. And then they took her check, Gordon said. That's when Lizzie Pugh drew the line. She got out her phone and said, I am calling the police. They expected her to leave the bank without that check. According to the suit, the check included a memo line reading slot jackpot. These people at this bank probably need some charges filed because this was theft. They tried to steal from this woman. And considering how much over the threshold of $10,000, isn't that larceny? Oh, well, just who knows? Just putting that out there. It's also listed Pugh's name and her. Oh my God! It also listed Pugh's name, her home address, which matched the address on her driver's license, according to the suit. Ooh, this is getting worse. Pugh could not be reached for comment Wednesday afternoon by NBC. She told the Detroit Free Press, quote, I couldn't really believe they did that to me. I was devastated. I kept asking, quote, how do you know the check is not real? And just insisted that it was fraudulent. I was just terrified. So they weren't telling her why the check was fraudulent. So Pugh also said it was highly offensive and illogical to accuse her of fraud. And from what I'm hearing, if you can't explain how the check is fraudulent, especially when it matches with her address, there's another thing that they can do at a branch, especially for a person that has something like that. That's something called funds verification. So you can verify the funds. So from bank to bank, you can call another bank. In this place, you would call the casino, because the casino also has an IRS office, which is tied to the Federal Reserve. So meaning that all of those transactions still go through the Federal Reserve, just like a clearinghouse or a bank, for those of you who know what those are. So when you're writing checks out here and doing all of that, that will go through a check clearinghouse. So when these people are saying that they do have fake lotto checks out there, but yeah, right. But come on now. They could have easily called the casino. I mean, I've went because I was dealing with a shady casting director. So I went to her bank with my check and verified them funds before I deposited anything. And then I just went ahead and took my money and went and took my cash to my bank. But yes, you have individuals out here who could take money from production companies and not pay what they're supposed to pay. But when that happens, you can verify the funds. So if you got a big check and you like, hey, shady here, you can have that bank say, are the funds in this check, are they available? And if that's the case, then get your money and run. But this right here is totally incredible. I've this level of fraud coming from a teller. I see how they can do it, but the fact that if this ain't the first time they've done it, I'll just say it like that. For them to even have that mindset, this is not the first time they've done this. You know what I mean? So that just jumps out at me for my loss prevention mind. No, I see what a thief is. Got it. Let's see. What does this say? Quote, this is like at the bottom. Is this still part of the story? So it says, quote, to think that maybe they would have police coming and running at me, it was humiliating and stressful, she said. According to the Free Press, for someone to just accuse you of stealing, I'm 71 years old. Why would I steal a check and try to cash it? I just didn't think anyone would do that. And no, typically they don't. No, they don't. No, they were trying to run a con on you, ma'am. That's exactly what they were trying to do. And how you know they were is because as soon as you said you was going to call the police, they gave you your check back. Yeah, you best believe they knew they were in the wrong. They knew they were in like the super wrong. So shoot, she's suing. But truth be told, there need to be some larceny charges on them people. Just because she prevented the theft, isn't that still attempted larceny? I mean, we're talking $12,000. Right, 2,000 over. Maybe I'm not understanding the laws in the state of Michigan, but I could stand federal statutes would definitely come with a Fed charge if you were over the threshold of that. And the IRS is definitely going to come calling. So, all those good little tax issues. Because, yeah, you best believe you hit that thing, there is an IRS agent right there. Yes, you need to go ahead and sign this before we even give you your money. See, so what you see right now, she got her check after the IRS got theirs at the casino. At the casino. You better know that them things is fancy banks. Fancy banks with lights. And what you mostly do is deposit. Kathy B. Y'all already know. Like if for those of you who have never been to the city of Las Vegas, you will know where you are as soon as you get off the plane. You have never been in an airport like this. I mean, you will know where you at moment one you get off the plane. Like, damn, y'all got slot machines like literally right here. You get off the plane, hit a left or a right. There's a slot machine in the hallway. Like, wow, y'all serious about this gambling here. Yeah, if you ain't never been to Las Vegas, man, so you step foot off the plane, first thing you see is, oh, damn, a row of 3 slot machines. There'll be another row on the other side. And that's literally like, you know how y'all walk out the gate and then start going down the hallway? Yeah, it's going to be right there to greet you soon as you come on. You can set down your bags and go lose some money right there. They ain't playing. Kathy B said all over gas stations everywhere. That's right. You remember when we were little and they had like arcade games in the stores and convenience stores? Yeah, it ain't no arcade game. It's a slot machine. Go take your spin. But if you fooling with them non-progressives over off the strip, partner, that ain't nothing but an L. You better go get in the casinos. Hop on the progressive. It has to hit once a month or once an hour. But yeah, if y'all ever go down to Las Vegas, you will see what they mean by Sin City. Like it's literally a bank. It is a deposit, because banks, you actually gain interest. Not in Las Vegas. No, they just show up and drop it off. Thanks. Las Vegas is almost like black voting. It's like Las Vegas is like voting Democrat. it looks nice, but you still leave with nothing. Ooh, somebody gonna use that. But yeah, for me, I mean, me and my wife, we always enjoyed the scenery, the weather and the scenery, because we go around spring break and just enjoy the nice weather. Didn't really actually fool with the pools, although we had access to the nice ones. Just never did that, just enjoyed chilling, scenery, and food. That's one thing we definitely do in Vegas. Eat. And eat some more and eat some more. You said ignorance is real. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very, very real. So, we're about wrapping up here. But one thing I want to, again, mention, shout out to everybody who has been fooling with our Twitter spaces and has been participating in them. All the speakers that we had this past week. My sister Linus Crown, and even with like Duane B's space today with Dr. Short and Nikki DeGod, that was very dope. Like these spaces that have been happening. Also, Afro Elite did part 2 on what is Black culture earlier today. So there has been a ton. You said you hungry now, Judah Queen. Yes, indeed. But these positive spaces that we have been having, it's needed. It's overdue, and just seeing the feedback from the people is very dope, and just understanding, doing things organically, and that's really how this came about with me and Black Alpha. It just came together organically, and we definitely work well with each other. We bounce off each other very well. I guess y'all could see kind of in the in this speaking and communication arena. You know what I'm saying? Understanding how to operate. So, shout out to everybody who has been supporting me and my brother, because it's been dope getting the feedback and hearing that this has been an inspirational situation. That's the important thing, that y'all are being edified, strengthened. Something constructive that you guys have participated in and can put your hands on and put your voice in if you felt like it. And for those who never speak, like we had Brother Nas Escobar. We had him speak this week. As y'all know, that brother puts out great information. He very rarely speaks, though. So he came and was a speaker and gave us a great deal of information about information on immigration. And his information on immigration was like, we know an overview, but that brother broke it down to the nitty gritty. And so just having these conversations, it kind of gives us even further of an understanding of how to go forward, how to address this system, how to conduct ourselves in this system, and how to conduct ourselves with one another. Duane B, matter of fact, I think his book is I think it's coming out or it just came out, but I believe it's coming out soon. And it's a short book on something we talk about here, having intentional conversations, because that is a very important thing. When you're communicating with somebody, you got to be able to understand how to intentionally communicate. And especially when if you're going to be, like when you guys are in spaces or whatnot, understand that everybody that's listening is not necessarily there to be positive. So, that doesn't mean that you have to make a negative shift just because of where they are. Meet them where they are, but definitely stay where you are. That's what we say. We meet people where they are, and that's what you do. But you don't change what you are for that. You stay what you are, but you don't, expect anybody else to get where you are overnight. So with that being said, shout out to everybody who absolutely has been in this empowerment space and been making waves. So much so, you got media outlets calling this a market. You have certain entities out there who may mention some people's names. You had TMZ that tried to get me on there to play me on national TV. So Darskin Brother said, I just got done eating fried chicken, had to cook me something after Beatzilla showed that video of the barbecue in it. Man, yeah. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Something else. He said they tried and they failed. They failed, absolutely. They had to re-record our part twice. So there should be still 2 different versions up there. And that's not even the original version from when we were live. And I told y'all, like, their objective, obviously, was to kind of set me up in a position to kind of take a crap on Michael Jackson. Which, why would I do that, saying that we had just did a big space celebrating Michael Jackson earlier that week? Go figure. So, here we go. Let's get him in here. And let's, man, he was this and that. Yeah. No, Michael Jackson was a victim in this situation. And look at everybody that stood to gain financially from keeping him doped up to be able to work. That wasn't for his benefit. There's a whole lot of people out there who are making a lot of money off of him and only make money if he's upright. So I think a little bit of everybody who's making money needs to be looked at. Don't know how they was going to get around that. Oh, man, yeah, it could happen to anybody, Yeah, because I was like, what did I say? Ordinary problems with extraordinary means. And extraordinary means with ordinary person problems. So this could happen to anyone. We got to figure out how we go ahead and spin this one, boy. Don't ever try me like that. I'm way quicker on my feet than I look, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Family, I probably will not be popping up in a Twitter space tonight. I have just got another invitation for another Twitter space. I don't be in Twitter spaces like that, family. I will go check out some, but I'm really kind of picky about where I'm. Like I said, the type of energy that I will allow myself to ingest, I'm very picky about that. And then also I want to be mindful of if it's a space that I don't know if it's productive or not, well, I can hop in there and now my face is in here. And so now people are like, oh, well, I see him in here. Let me hop in here. And so then I'm leading people to something that is not anything that I represent. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do that either. That's again why I be chilling. Like it's not, no offense. But as for me, I enjoy being in my lane. You know what I mean? So I don't do this for clout. You know, I definitely don't do this for views. You know, this is not a blow up on the internet thing. This is a movement thing. So of course, y'all know this is way deeper than social media can allow one to see. But with that being said, you said keep being you, Beatzilla. Thank you, Judah Queen. That's how we have to do. You know, because again, look at all the different voices you have out here. Everybody has something different to offer. We all don't do the same thing. But one thing you do see is that we all have a passion for what we do. And for me, you know, I operate in my calling, in what I am chosen to do. That is the lane to which I operate in. Anything outside of that would be me going off. You know what I mean? So I would advise anybody, you know, find what your path is and stick to it. But if you move off that square, then when that happens, people might look at, okay, well, you are showing me inconsistency in your own leadership of yourself. So I have to address that accordingly. So with that being said, I don't hop in everyone's space. You know what I mean? And that's all right. Because not everything requires your presence. My brother Afro Elite, you already know. Like Afro, y'all used to see Afro doing spaces all the time. You see, he did a space today, which was like the first in about a month. You know, and you ain't seen his face, probably, man. Telling you, you could, because what you could be doing something of a restful nature, resting your mind, eating you a snack, chilling, versus being up here listening to some argument that you ain't got nothing to do with. Man, me and my wife could turn on a movie versus sitting up here listening to somebody arguing on a weekend. You feel me? I mean, if that's your type of entertainment, cool. But it ain't mine. It is not mine at all, family. Yeah, you know, speaking of entertainment, quick question. Have y'all been into this new Game of Thrones? Say, yeah, I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff. Man, I'm telling you. I ain't got time like that anymore. For real, brother. I completely understand, and that's a good thing. And truth be told, are you really missing anything? You know, as I say, take them moments for yourself. Like y'all, I already told you how I do over here. Friday night after I shut this joint down, that's wifey time. So yeah, you won't see me in spaces on Friday night. No, we shutting it down. The phone go on, do not disturb, all of that. You know what I mean? But that's what you will need to do. Just like my sister Lioness Crown and a few others have taken month hiatuses. You know, like Great Black Shark took a long time away from the mic. And that brother just started, you know, cranking back out videos, man. And that's a dope thing. So just seeing all of these content creators, these foundational, on cold Black Americans that absolutely have a passion for the people. It's just dope being a part and dope to experience and watch. And there's so many that are so heavy. It's like, man, it'll take you good luck trying to get through all the videos. You know what I mean? And it cats be cranking videos out too. So you probably ain't gonna catch all of it, but find a good solid channel and support that channel. Whether it's me, whether it's my brother Afro Elite, Black Alpha Network, Torian Rain Reloaded, Kid Gravity, and heal up, brother. Kid Gravity had a minor surgery, which one of them I've kind of thought about doing that years ago, because some of us black folks just have janky sinuses. What is that? Is that something that we're not supposed to be on this land or something? So like we're just here with allergies and janky sinuses. You said that's true. I noticed FBAs don't go in other spaces like that. No. I mean, my advice for a content creator would be either hold your own space or go into other content creator spaces. Outside of that person doesn't really have anything to lose other than what's going on there. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that just being on Twitter is a bad thing at all. No. But what I'm saying is for the content creators that move between areas, then that probably is no benefit for them. You know what I mean? Because truth be told, it's a benefit for everyone else for the content creator to be there. Because that's how you get draws. So that's kind of one of those type of situations. Yeah, peace, Kid Gravity, brother. And also, again, y'all see the pinned GoFundMe link for our little young brother. Shout out to Ogun Spirit and that family. They unfortunately lost this young man to what we would suggest strongly as malpractice by what appears to be a Nigerian woman, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. The fact is, this woman, anesthesiologist, in whatever she has done wrong, has definitely taken the life force out of this precious soul, and she needs to be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. So I'm sure that this has probably increased since I took this screenshot, because I seen I think it was Torian earlier that had it up, and when I went to it, it was already to this, and I think that was like 10-2. So I mean, within him pulling up that window, it was a whole extra $160 within a matter of minutes. So, shout out to the foundational Black American family, man. Because y'all came together for these folks quick. So that was really dope. I've seen the brother he was in a space with the sisters and a few of the family. So, it is good to see the type of support system that we were able to even, I guess it's a support system that we just already have. It was already on board. Just no tragedy like this has really befallen us. But with that being said, just watching how everybody kind of gathered around him, man. Again, y'all are some beautiful folks, family. That's all I can say. Beautiful people, family. That is just, hell, who could really ask for more? So again, shout out to Ogun Spirit and that family, all the extended family, and rest in power, little king. So again, y'all, if y'all want to, y'all can, it's in the description of this video. So for those who are watching the replay, the description, you'll see the GoFundMe link for them as well. So with that being said, I think I do have everything that I needed to get out. It seems like after this reset, all of a sudden we've been working pretty good here with this mic. This is the first night back on StreamYard. We had to leave Restream, because Restream, my sound was consistent. So I guess really if StreamYard just gets this part to where I don't have to keep fooling with this mic. That's why I had taken the mic away for so long. It's because StreamYard just kept being janky with it. That's literally why myself and I know Queen Amadiah literally were fooling with Restream to begin with about this sound issue. So hopefully we can figure out some manners of fixing that here, StreamYard, since we are back. I believe, and for me, it's easier because, I use a lot of videos. I use a lot of clips, and I didn't have the capacity in that studio as I do here. One thing I do miss, and what y'all think about this, I miss being able to have y'all chats on the screen. That's one thing I do miss. They should bring the chat overlay thing on this, because that would be dope. I think that's really the one thing that is missing. If they add that and fix the sound thing, I'm good. I mean, there's some things that couldn't be changed and altered, but every platform will have. So you got to kind of weigh the pros and cons. And in the war of pros and cons, StreamYard won. So we are back. We are back. Yeah, it's all good. We had to come back to StreamYard like this, y'all. We had to come on in like this. Hey, y'all, I just got to kind of stroll back in the door. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just it ain't no thing playing. I'm just back, we just had to step out for a little bit, but we stepping right back in. You know how we do over here, player. Oh, my Lord. So, to all of my Nigerian haters out there, which all of a sudden you guys started popping out of the woodwork, it's always nice to know when somebody is hating you from the wings, and they've been sitting here in these rooms, and they've been talking crazy about different foundational Black Americans and plotting on folks and trying to make people BIEs and some more. Y'all be careful out here in these internet streets. Is remember, we are part of a movement. And we are part of a movement of the truth. And in bizarro world, this world we call Babylon, they absolutely can't stand it. And if you are looking at how time is sped up, the world is revolving faster, solar flares and holes opening up on the sun, sounds coming out of distant universe, different things that really can't be explained flying across the sky in various places. And right now you're in a retrograde. I would say maybe this is a sign, like a double rainbow over Buckingham Palace. And some people will say, well, the rainbow was a sign of mourning for the Queen. No. It was a sign of warning to the world that a time is ended and the covenant that he made with the people that to whom he set that rainbow in the sky will be fulfilled. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeed. We good. So yeah, they were over there. Oh yeah, it's a sign. Oh, it's a sign, all right. Mm-hmm. Well, you doggone right, it's a sign. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, absolutely, Judah Queen. Yeah, they understand what time it is. Why you think they so worried? And then why you think they're so hard up about ignoring us? Because, when they pray in the white Jesus, this is what they think.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
Oh, and you know what? Here's another part that, because some parts of history, they absolutely don't want repeated. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Patreon, beatzillapdx official, and on Melanated People, you can follow me at Michael Beatzilla Whitmore. You could email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And of course, if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you definitely can by way of donation. And a matter of fact, speaking of, let me see, because there is a donation that came through, so let me shout you out now. Let's see. Let me see who that is. All right, that is Simply Chandra. Simply Chandra, thank you so much for your donation. Peace, power, and blessings and protection be up on you and yours. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so, yes, family, you can definitely do the same at CashApp, $BeatZillaPDX. That's CashApp, $BeatZillaPDX. We also have PayPal. That is Zilla Music, or Muzak, rather. That's ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. So with that being said, y'all have a good weekend. Hope y'all had some of y'all probably had a short week. So I'm sure you were really ready for the weekend because, sometimes them short weeks can turn into longer weeks because it's short. How does that work? I'm so glad it's Friday. So y'all have a blessed wonderful, prosperous weekend. Stay away from liars, fakes, and phonies and energy-sucking vampires, because some people just only know turmoil. But around here, we always stick with the stone of truth, don't we? Because it's so much easier, so much simpler, and so much more rewarding when you're moving for that stone of truth. Y'all have a blessed one, y'all. Black first, Shalom.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are, on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.